This video is about a form of intelligence that never draws attention to itself, the kind that observes quietly, understands people clearly, and stays ahead without effort. If you've noticed that being open, honest, or well-intentioned keeps putting you at a disadvantage, while people with less ability gain influence, respect, or control, there's a reason for that. It isn't bad luck, and it isn't a lack of intelligence. You struggle because no one explained how power actually operates beneath the surface. In this video, I'll break down that, sharpen how you read people, protect your position, and quietly increase your leverage in any social setting. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson changes how you interpret every interaction after this. Clarity can be a strength, but too much of it turns into a cage. When your intentions are easy to read, you become predictable, like a lock with the key left in plain sight. Real power sits in ambiguity, in allowing people to wonder what you're thinking and what you'll do next. Be the one writing the story, not the pages laid open for anyone to scan. Because in uncertainty, you create room to move and room to act. Ambiguity is not the same as deception, at least not by default. It is the discipline of protecting your options. The moment you speak in absolutes, the moment you lock yourself into one clear position, you close every other door. You give up flexibility without realizing it. But when your words carry layers, and your actions can be read in more than one way, you keep your ability to adjust. You can shift direction, step back, or move forward, without ever looking unstable. Because you never tied yourself to a single path to begin with. You offered them a cloud, not a stone, and a cloud reshapes itself as the winds change. This kind of ambiguity creates leverage. When people cannot fully read your position, they approach you carefully, and caution gives you control. They're no longer reacting only to what you said. They're negotiating with what you might mean. Every possible interpretation runs through their mind, and that mental effort is draining, often paralyzing. In trying to get clarity from you, they begin to expose themselves, their fears, their desires, their limits. They offer concessions, they reveal weaknesses, all to force a clear answer. And while they do this, you stay still, watching, measuring, collecting information, keeping your most valuable cards out of sight. Watch a skilled diplomat who refuses to give a clean yes or no. He isn't being evasive, he's being deliberate. By sustaining uncertainty, he keeps everyone involved. Those who want his eventual yes will work harder, simply to earn it. Those who fear his possible no will give more, just to make sure it never happens. His refusal to commit becomes a force of gravity. It pulls everyone toward him, pushing them to act in ways that serve his position. He isn't selling a decision, he's selling possibility. And possibility is far more valuable than a final answer. This is why you learn to speak in nuance, why you learn to move in ways that suggest more than one outcome, why your silence carries as much weight as your words. This isn't about being unclear or confused. It's about being exact in your restraint. There's a difference between a blurred image and a deliberate play of light and shadow. In mastery, the darkness is placed as carefully as the light. And once you understand this, you stop being a statement people can accept or dismiss. You become a question they keep returning to. And the one who controls attention controls the field. If you've ever wondered why certain people always seem to get better outcomes without arguing or explaining themselves, this is the mechanism. Keep watching. In a world that worships visible strength, being ignored can be an advantage. The peacock spreads its feathers and captures every eye. It's admired, envied, and watched closely. But the bird with plain feathers, resting quietly in the branches, draws no attention at all. It sees everything, it hears everything, and it moves only when the moment is right, while every gaze remains fixed on the display. Appearing harmless is a form of camouflage. It invites people to relax, to dismiss you, to stop watching, and in doing so they give you something rare, the freedom to act without being observed. People are quick to sort others into simple categories: ally, rival, pawn, threat. The moment you're labeled a threat, defenses rise, eyes narrow, attention sharpens, and that is when movement becomes difficult. Once you're seen as a threat, every move is examined, every word is measured. But when you're judged as harmless, you disappear from their calculations. You're allowed closer, past the outer walls, into the inner rooms, not because you're trusted, but because you're underestimated. You blend into the background, a quiet presence in the spaces where real decisions are formed. This is where the most valuable information surfaces, where the most effective moves are prepared without resistance. Being underestimated is not an insult, it's a gift. Let others believe you're simple, that your ambitions are small, that your intelligence is average. Their pride protects you. Their arrogance keeps them blind to what you're actually capable of. While others are busy displaying strength and competing for attention, you're doing something else. You're quietly studying the terrain, noticing the weak points in their defenses, placing your pieces where they'll matter later. The decisive move is rarely loud. It comes at the right moment, from a direction no one bothered to watch. Think of the unremarkable accountant who collapses a criminal empire, not with force, but with records. Or the quiet secretary who, after years of being overlooked, holds enough information to end careers with a single release. They weren't powerful because they were feared. They were powerful because they were ignored. They mastered the art of appearing insignificant. They let neglect become fertile ground. And in that space they built leverage. The loudest person in the room is rarely the one in control. Real power is accumulated silently and revealed only when the result is already decided. When you're not seen as a competitor, resistance disappears. Doors that stay closed to the openly ambitious are quietly left open for the unthreatening. People relax around you. They speak without caution. They reveal their plans, their alliances, their weak points, because it never occurs to them that you could use that information. You become a safe presence, a listener, a harmless friend, and every complaint, every secret, every careless boast adds another piece to the picture you're forming, silently, methodically. This position gives you room to build connections without triggering suspicion. You can offer help, do small favors, create quiet dependencies, all under the appearance of kindness or even average ability. No alarms are raised, and the network grows without resistance, while obvious rivals fight openly for territory, creating resistance with every step. You move differently. You're not advancing, you're weaving. Each connection becomes a thread, a favor, a debt, a detail remembered. On its own, each one looks harmless. Together, they form a network strong enough to restrain even those who seem untouchable. So when your real strength finally appears, the impact is severe. It isn't just a loss for them. It's a shock to how they understand the world. They had already decided who you were. They dismissed you, planned around your weakness. Their strategies were built on that assumption. And when it collapses, everything built on top of it collapses too. The damage isn't only strategic, it's psychological. They aren't beaten just by what you did, but by the realization that they never saw you coming. Their defeat is tied to their own arrogance, their own certainty. Being outmaneuvered by someone they judged as inferior leaves a deeper mark than force ever could. That humiliation lingers. So resist the temptation to prove yourself. Don't rush to correct. Don't feel the need to impress or display intelligence at every turn. Recognition is a distraction. A true strategist doesn't rehearse in public. He prepares in silence. Let others compete for attention. Let them display and posture. You remain unseen, protected by their underestimation. Let them believe you are harmless. Let them believe you are weak. They'll only understand the truth when it's already too late, when the illusion breaks and the consequence is unavoidable. Most people listening to this are still trying to look impressive. The ones who understand this lesson stop trying and start winning. Stay with this. There's a subtle illusion that closeness is the foundation of influence, that access creates authority. It doesn't. Power isn't built on warmth. It's built on respect, and respect requires distance. The more familiar something becomes, the less weight it carries. Mystique fades, awe dissolves. We don't revere what's always available. We value what feels slightly out of reach. A leader who appears too often becomes ordinary. An enigma who appears selectively remains significant. Warmth passes quickly, distance endures, and the respect it creates is carved slowly, like stone. Boundaries aren't barriers meant to isolate you. They're fortifications meant to protect what's yours. They mark the line between your domain and someone else's, your time, your attention, your emotional energy. These should be guarded like a stronghold. Being selectively inaccessible isn't disrespectful. It's preservation. People don't respect what they can reach at any moment. They respect what requires consideration. When you defend your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. And over time, that lesson becomes respect. Affection fades. But respect will take you further than warmth ever will. People lie easily, with words, promises, and confident statements. But the body is less obedient. It reveals what the mouth tries to hide. Restless hands, eyes that won't settle, a body that shifts under pressure. Each movement is a quiet admission. Learn to watch these signals. Learn to trust what's involuntary over what's spoken. And once you do, very few people will ever remain unreadable to you. Betrayal almost never arrives in one clear moment. It shows itself in patterns, small actions repeated over time that quietly expose intent. Watch the one who praises those above him and dismisses those below. His loyalty isn't to people, it's to power. Notice who agrees with you in private but disappears when it matters publicly. These details seem minor on their own. Together they tell the truth. Words are performance. Behavior is confession. If you watch closely enough, people reveal everything. In public life, morality is rarely as personal as it appears. More often, it's a performance, a costume designed to attract allies, weaken opponents, and disguise ambition. The most visible virtue usually has the most to hide. Those who speak the loudest about morality tend to frame themselves as heroes, and anyone who challenges them as villains. This display serves two purposes at once. It protects them from scrutiny and gives them permission to attack. So when the sermon grows louder, don't listen harder. Look closer. Because the more passionately someone preaches virtue, the more carefully you should check what they're trying to keep out of sight. The most dangerous kind of moral performance is the display of purity. The zealot presents himself as the final judge of what is good and demands total agreement. Disagreement becomes heresy. Compromise becomes corruption. There's no room for nuance and no room for mercy. The mistake is trying to argue within that frame. The defense is refusing the frame entirely. Question the premise. Expose the performance. Public displays of purity deserve scrutiny, not obedience. They're rarely about virtue. More often, they're declarations of conflict, carefully disguised as righteousness. In the theater of ambition, transparency is often praised as the path to trust. But in the realities of power, openness can become a liability. The moment you reveal your plans, you give others the map to interfere. You show them where to block you, where to strike. Real power depends on discretion. Information is currency, and the most valuable kind is what only you hold. Protect your intentions. Let others guess. Let them misread. While they follow outlines and assumptions, you move quietly beyond their reach. If this is making you uncomfortable, that's a signal, not a problem. The final lessons explain why discomfort is often the price of clarity. Discretion isn't simply about hiding, it's a form of armor. In any competitive space, others are always probing for weakness. Complete transparency gives them something to grip. Discretion gives them nothing. Like a seasoned diplomat, you reveal just enough to suggest strength and no more. Your real intentions stay concealed. Silence, used correctly, becomes a tool. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty commands respect. Discretion isn't passive, it's deliberate. And when used well, it becomes an advantage others can't touch. The world doesn't move for the loudest voice. It shifts toward the one that makes others lean closer. Authority isn't announced, it's sensed. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. Each one lands with intention. Silence, used well, becomes protection. It guards what you plan, while inviting others to expose themselves. Restraint isn't absence, it's control. And through that control, you apply the quiet force that decides outcomes without ever raising your voice. In any conflict, the first person to lose control gives up power. The moment composure breaks, authority leaks out. Emotional reactions are visible cracks in your armor. They tell others their pressure is working, that they've reached something sensitive. Real strength comes from calm that can't be disturbed. Not natural calm, but disciplined calm. When you govern your emotions, you remove leverage from everyone else. At that point, you're difficult to provoke and almost impossible to defeat. Your composure becomes the weapon they can't disarm. The world is crowded with impulsive people, jumping from one urgency to the next, confusing movement with progress. They act quickly and exhaust themselves just as fast. Real power moves differently. It waits, like a crocodile beneath the surface, still, alert, conserving energy until the moment is certain. The strongest plans don't rush, they grow. Like oak trees, they take time to mature, but once rooted, they're difficult to uproot. Patience widens your vision. While others fixate on the next move, you see the entire board, 10 steps ahead. Time isn't working against you. Used correctly, it becomes your quiet advantage, the ally most people never learn to use. There's a quiet strength in choosing not to act. In moments of pressure, the instinct is movement, but rushed action usually makes things worse. Those who understand power know when stillness is useful. Waiting isn't weakness. It's pressure applied in reverse. By holding your position, you let others expose themselves, their impatience, their fear, their mistakes. Meanwhile, you conserve energy and clarity. Inaction, when deliberate, is not passivity. It's strategy. And in the end, it isn't the fastest who win. It's the ones who last. True power is never a performance. It's the silent change in direction, the shift beneath the surface that few notice until it's already taken effect. The ones who shape outcomes don't announce themselves. They work quietly, adjusting circumstances while remaining out of view. The strongest influence is felt everywhere, yet the hand behind it is seen nowhere. The real master is never the one under the lights, but the one arranging the stage from the dark. And once that's done, nothing more needs to be said. So ask yourself this: which of these lessons unsettled you the most, and why? If this video changed how you read people, do 3 simple things. Like it, so this line of thinking continues. Comment, so I know what stayed with you. And share it with someone who understands power, but never speaks about it. Subscribe if you want more calm, controlled psychological breakdowns like this. And when you're ready, watch the next video. It builds directly on what you've just learned and takes it further.